Welcome back to the capsON podcast. It is NFL Week 8. My name is Tyler Blumenstick, joined by Sam Meehan, Anthony Mano, and Nick Tobias straight out of ShopRite.
I'm not out of shop. I'm straight in ShopRite.
Your feed's coming out of ShopRite.
Yes, my feed is coming out of ShopRite, correct. But I'm
Right.
currently in ShopRite, working, yes.
Perfect. All right, so this is just going to be covering the Thursday night game for this week. We'll be back tomorrow with the entire rest of our episode that we normally put out every single week. But for Thursday night, we have the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Carolina Panthers. The line is currently set at Panthers -2.5. The total set at 51.5. We put up a TikTok poll, and just going to preface it with this. Falcons got 65 votes. Panthers got 104 votes for a 62-38 split. What are your guys' initial thoughts on this game?
I think it's definitely one of the more interesting Thursday night games that we've had. This Panthers team has kind of come out of nowhere and I don't know if they're surprising people necessarily, but Matt Rule has done a really good job of at least building something for the future there. And then you look at the other side of the football, and the Falcons are in a downward spiral, losing last week in the last minute. Todd Gurley falling into the end zone. That might be the only time I've ever seen defensive players celebrating a touchdown. But it two completely opposite teams in terms of like motivation and like will to get up for this game, I think.
Well, after the Panthers were on a 3-game win streak, and they just lost 2 straight games. Atlanta, their defense, as bad as they are, they haven't given up more than 23 points their last 3 games. They just barely lost last week against Detroit. It took a couple Hail Marys from Matt Stafford. I don't know. Listen, the Atlanta Falcons defense is bad. But on the road, the Falcons are 2-1 against the spread, and one of those covers was a win. But I think the under is a good play here too. I don't think there's going to be a lot of football play. I think there's going to be a lot of punts. But I'm going to do the worst thing in the world and take the Atlanta Falcons +2.5. I'm doing it.
All right.
Really?
Yeah, that'll be my
Wow.
short little spiel. I didn't really do too much research because I've been here, but I'm gonna give it to Atlanta. I think they come out firing. After firing Dan Quinn, it seems like they finally are kind of starting to play more as a team. I mean, granted, if Todd Gurley didn't fall into the end zone last week, they catch the W, and they're probably thinking people would think of Atlanta a little bit differently. So I'm gonna roll with Atlanta +2.5 here.
All right. I guess I'll take the reins for my pick. I'm going to go with Carolina -2.5. Atlanta just scares the crap out of me. I mean, like you said, they don't have a good defense. They can't hold leads. They literally had the game in the bag against Detroit last week, and they still couldn't get it done. But I just think at home, this is a Carolina team that, I mean, the offenses don't even stack up really. I think like Atlanta definitely has a much better offense, I would say. I mean, at least with McCaffrey out.
Well, I believe McCaffrey is set to return.
Yeah,
designated to
He's
play.
set to return.
Yeah, so it's not,
I mean,
I guess 100%, but
I don't know how much we're going to get out of him, only because it's a short week. Like, he just started practicing again, and I think it's like 2 or 3 days, and then now he'll be back on the field if he's getting real game time reps. So,
But now you talk about how untrustworthy the Falcons are, but 1-6 teams. Who would you rather? Who is more of a scary team? Both 1-6 teams: the New York Football Giants or the Atlanta Falcons?
the New York Football Giants.
Really? I would
say the Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons. I would say the Atlanta
I think
Falcons.
that Falcons team has no problem putting up points.
It doesn't. It's their team, and the Giants have a problem putting up points.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure if Carolina goes down and scores almost every time, Atlanta has the same ability to go down and score almost every time. You give them 2.5 points, that's a field goal. It seems like they keep losing every game by a point or two. So that's going to be my little spiel. Have fun enjoying the rest of your podcast.
see you, Nick.
All right,
Bye, Nick.
These teams played a couple weeks ago, and it was a final score of 23-16 Panthers. Julio Jones did not play in that game for the Falcons. So I don't know. Does that make that big of a difference to you guys? Like that Julio Jones didn't play last time, and the
really
Panthers
don't like
won.
this game.
It's a tough game. I feel like
I
these
went
teams
back
are
and
more
forth.
evenly. I feel like they're more evenly matched than
Mhm.
than maybe they should be. But like you
Isn't
look at the Panthers.
Carolina's home, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in
Yeah.
Carolina.
So
I don't know what I'm gonna say.
it's tough, and getting away from like numbers and like, I guess not even like analytics, but just the numbers that are like in front of you. This is a Falcons team that lost a heartbreaker, and yeah, a couple, but especially last week, right when they like what he said before. If
Mhm.
Todd Gurley goes down at the 1 yard line, they have that game in the bag. Or Matt Stafford has a lot less time to go down and probably doesn't score. That's a heartbreaker, right? And you have to turn around on a short week and play a tough Carolina team on a Thursday.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's. I don't know if they can do that. I'm taking Carolina -2.5 here, and the numbers are close enough for me to go to that like emotional backing there. Even though I don't really try to back emotions that much. I think that situation, losing late, turning around short week, is big enough for me to make that choice.
I've backed the Falcons, expecting a bounce back, I think twice now this year, and both times, bit me in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the third time's a charm. So
I have the receipts. I have the
I-
receipts from your TikTok.
my finger slipped. I'm gonna go. I'm still flip-flopping like right this second, but you know what? Yeah, my first instinct was the Falcons +2.5, and
Trust your gut.
I'm gonna go with my gut. And actually, like contrary to Nick, I actually kind of like the was over. Oh, it was 51.
Yeah, Nick kind of contradicted himself before. He said they're going to score on every possession, but he also likes the under. So I'm tending to lean to the over here on this.
Yeah, I'd lean over, but I want to see if there's any movement tomorrow.
Yeah.
Before I do anything official.
This should be. I just don't know. And I don't know who these teams truly are. Like the Falcons could easily be like a 4-3 team right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 3-4. I feel like 4-3 is a little generous.
And it's a matter of if they think they could be that, or they think they are. We don't deserve it. We are 1-6. This is who we are.
Yeah, but they have a high-powered offense. They can put the ball in the end zone. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think this is a game that they win.
I mean, the Falcons have the Panthers, and it feels weird saying it too, have a high-powered offense. Like they have three wide receivers that can legitimately get open, and that's not including, their tight end, who they don't really use that much. I'm pretty sure it's Ian Thomas. I'm pretty sure they don't use him that much. But they have Mike Davis and they have Christian McCaffrey. If Christian McCaffrey gets like 7-8 snaps in the rushing game and maybe like another 3 or 4 in passing downs, like that's something to think about. He's going to be on a snap count if he plays. But Mike Davis has shown that he's very capable of taking that backup role. I just think these are two high-powered offenses, and if it comes down to like a final score, I think I would trust the Panthers to go down the field and get the ball to Robbie Anderson, the sun god, or TJ Moore, or even Curtis Samuel.
28-27 Carolina.
I just trust Carolina's defense a lot more than I trust Atlanta's defense.
Yeah, not that I necessarily trust their defense, but it's definitely better. Like Atlanta can.
You at least feel confident in them getting a stop.
They've gotten better over the past few weeks, but Atlanta's defense that is. But I see it staying close and a rather high-scoring affair.
All right, so I feel like we've beat the dead horse enough. Just to wrap it up, Nick and Sam are on Atlanta. Mano and I are on Carolina, -2.5. Nick mentioned he leaned under, but then gave an entire case for the over. Sam and I both like the over. Mano, I don't know if you're going to hop on that sentiment as well.
I don't like overs and unders.
Number kind of scares me, but
yeah.
Well, regardless, we're pretty dead split on this game, and you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all capsON Sports. Check out the website, capsonsports.com. We'll be back tomorrow with the rest of our episode. So For myself, Sam Meehan, Anthony Mano, and the recently departed Nick Tobias. We'll see you tomorrow.